puzzling it is to seemingly have two similar events back to back. Not only puzzling, but obviously scary and damaging for our community. You know, folks are still traumatized from that May 16th, now another one. A lot of people are wondering what's happening. Sadly, we're not alone. Many parts of the country are being hit hard by weather.
The Houston area hit again by strong storms, knocking out power just as Center Point was getting the lights back on.
It's just the latest in a series of storms to hit our area, and this morning recovery begins all over again. We've got team coverage all morning long. Ugochi Iloka is in Magnolia, and Devon Roming is in the Heights covering storm recovery. We'll check in with them in just a moment. But first, Frank Black Middle School informed parents last night that the school is closed today because the campus still doesn't have power. We have reached out to Houston ISD to find out if any other campuses are in the dark, and we have yet to hear back. And here's a look at the Center Point power outage numbers. Right now, more than 38,000 customers still do not have power.
And new this morning at just about 6:05, Montgomery County is dealing with down power lines after two people were shocked. The county says 2 adults and a juvenile were shocked by down power lines in the Willis area. And a 35-year-old man was shocked by a lightning strike nearby. Center Point says it's important to assume that all lines are energized, which means they are dangerous. They recommend that you stay at least 35 feet away from down lines. Another reminder this morning, never spray a sparking or burning wire with water, and never attempt to remove any tree limbs or any other object from power lines. Leave that to the professionals. And this morning, a community is reeling after a teen construction worker was killed in yesterday's storms.
The crew was working on the framing of a home that was under construction when strong winds caused the framing to collapse. Ugochi Iloka joins us live from where this tragedy happened, just outside the Woodlands. Ugochi, any idea who this teen was?
Marcelino and Kimberly, at this hour, no, but right now we are working to learn more about this 16-year-old construction worker. Now, the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office says his family was notified of his death, but that they are not releasing his name. Now, sadly, the teen got caught up in this townhome collapse here off of Willow Heights Lane near FM 1488 in Magnolia. That home looks like a pile of toothpicks this morning, as you can see. Just devastating. Now, the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office says the teen was employed by the construction company building the townhomes in this development. Investigators say when the storm came in yesterday afternoon, the framing of the house began to shift before it collapsed. Now, emergency rescue crews showed up to the construction site, left in shambles after the storm rolled through. Near the bottom of the rubble, they say they found the 16-year-old boy after propping up the frame of the home, but he was already dead. Construction workers who were with the teen Tuesday say they thought he made it out before the collapse.
We just call him about his name and he don't answer. When you just call like 3 times, we just hear his phone ringing, and then he just saw like a little flashlight. So I think maybe he's in there.
He seen the house collapsing. He ran because he was like at the edge of both houses.
Yes, sadly, those construction workers were wrong. We are still trying to ask the questions about why the workers were here when a storm was coming this way. We hope to get those questions answered for you and follow up on that today. Reporting live in Magnolia, Ugochi Iloka, KHOU 11 News.
Ugochi, thanks for that live report. Strong winds, flooding, and even hail. That storm packed quite a punch for the Houston area. Here are some videos our crews captured around town. Now, to put this into perspective, the National Weather Service tweeted out the highest gusts they saw across the area when the storms passed through, from 58 miles per hour in Sugar Land to 75 miles per hour at Bush Airport. In fact, the wind was so strong it had traffic at a complete standstill on the North Freeway. And this is not something, of course, we see very often. Over in North Texas, the winds were so strong it pushed a plane away from its gate at the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. That airport reported winds up to 77 miles per hour. And it feels like we've been talking about storm damage for weeks now. The Heights is one area where cleanup efforts are still ongoing.
Well, actually, we have been talking about it for weeks now, and that's where we find Devon Roming this morning. He joins us live with more on relief available for those who are in need. Devon, good morning.
Yeah, you guys are absolutely right. We have been covering storm damage in this area for nearly 2 weeks, and yesterday afternoon storm really didn't help the cause in this area here in the Heights. As you can see behind me, there's actually a tree that is blocking the roadway here on Heights Boulevard. We actually just moments ago saw a SUV run right into that tree as they were trying to get around it. And so there is still a lot of damage from yesterday's storm that's still left to be cleaned up. And right now, the Federal Management Agency, or FEMA, is already in place here helping with assistance. Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo says if you experience damage from yesterday's storm, you are eligible for FEMA assistance. The incident period is still open, and you can call 211 and they'll route you to FEMA. You can also call FEMA at 1-800-621-FEMA. Again, that's 1-800-621-FEMA. And if you already submitted an application, here's what Judge Hidalgo's advice is for you.
Please do not submit an additional application. That will be a big problem for you in receiving aid. It just confuses the system. And so what you can do, what we ask you to do, is to go onto your application and update your application.
And of course, we have all of this information and much more on our website, khou.com.